Welcome back, everybody. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, and hopefully to get some side splits. All right? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, everybody. I am back home, and it's time to start some live side splits workouts. I am seeing some sound issues. Hold on. No, that's good. Gnowsty says here. Hey, Ken. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. I'm sorry I'm running a little bit late. I just got home from visiting friends, and I am trying to get some stuff sorted. For some reason, my other phone looks like it's barely connecting to the internet. Very strange. And I have switched the Wi-Fi. Nothing else is connected. I don't know why it's not doing anything, but that's too bad. I guess I'm not gonna have to deal. I'm not gonna be able to deal with that for now. All right, let's get into our workout. All right, it's time for us to practice some consistency, to work on that hip mobility, work on our side splits. Let's do it. First thing we're gonna do is hip cars, and they look a little bit like this. I think that's Che saying hello. Welcome back, Che. Let's go. We're starting with the high knee. Lift that knee as high as you can, directly in front of you. If you think you've lifted high enough, keep going anyway, all right? From here, try to keep your hips in the same spot, but open up that leg to the side, and keep that knee as high as you can. From here, we're going to rotate that leg so that the ankle and the knee are in the same line, all right? From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. Feel free to lean against the wall, hold on to something a little bit for balance. Because we're focused on these muscles, we don't need to obsess over whatever is going on with the rest of the body, okay? So hold on to something for balance. So we've got our leg to over here. I want you to keep going. I want you to bring the ankle up, as high as you can. Ooh, and then from here, we're gonna bring the leg down and back, all right? Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, feel the stretch here in the hip flexor. From the front, when I say bring the leg down and back, I literally mean bring it down and back. So it's going straight back behind you, all right? Nothing crazy out over on the side, straight back. Cool? That is one rep with lots of explanation. So we're going to do 10 of those. Can you do a stretch routine for people that are bedridden? You're gonna have to tell me what bedridden means for you. Does that mean you can't get out of bed, or does that mean you can't get off your back? I imagine there's a spectrum even amongst the bedridden for what that means. So tell me what you need, and I might be able to come up with some variations, okay? But probably not today, not right now. At some other point in time, I'll figure out something for you, okay? Because coming with it on the spot would be really hard and make me very anxious. Okay, let's see. We're doing hip cars. Let's go. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's one. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's two. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's three. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's four. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's five. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's six. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's seven. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's eight. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's nine. Last one. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back, and that is 10. Oh, shake out the hips, do a little dance. Let's continue on the other side. All right, stand nice and tall, nice and straight, and let's begin. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's one. Ooh, my hip just cracked. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. We are warming up, all right? So if your first rep looks a little different from your fourth rep or your fifth rep, and you feel like you're getting deeper into each of these movements, that's a good sign. This is the warm-up. The first one probably isn't going to be that good, and that's absolutely okay. This is about trying your best, all right? High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. I honestly Forgot to count, but I feel like we're in the realm of like 5 or 6. So I'm gonna pretend this is 7. Open, angle up, down and back. High knee, open, angle up, down and back. I think this is 8, 9, last one, and 10. Oh, that was our hip cars going forward. Take a quick breath, relax for a second, shake out the legs, shake out the hips, do a little dance, and we're going to go into reverse hip cars. All right. Most of the movements are going to be very similar to what we just did, but we're going to go in reverse order. All right. So I want you to stand up straight. Keep that core nice and tight. Bring the leg down and back. Flex the glutes, flex the hamstrings. From here, we're going to lift that leg up to the side, and we're going to rotate the ankle up as high as we can. Rotate, 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 rotate. Oh. Then we're going to do the opposite. Bring the ankle all the way down, lift that knee up as high as we can, and finish by bringing the knee forward in front. All right, that's 1 rep. We're doing 10 more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 4. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 5. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 6. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 7. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 8. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 9. Last one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Oh, man. Okay, we're 75% of the way done with our hip cars. If you're just joining in, we're doing some hip mobility work, and this is one of our first exercises to help warm up those hips so that we can work on some side splits. All right, let's go ahead, turn around, and get ready to finish up these hip cars. Stand up nice and straight. Keep those abs tight. Oh, like you're bracing for a punch. Oh. And let's begin. Bring this leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Feel that stretch here in the front of your hip flexor. From here, we're lifting the leg up to the side. Whew. Keep that leg horizontal to begin. And then bring the ankle up as high as you can. Oh, ankle down. Knee. That is 1 rep. Let's go. We're doing 10. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 2. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down. 3. Feel free to lean against the wall for balance. Stick your hand out to grab something, whatever you need to help with stability. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. I think that's 5. 5 more. We're halfway there. Come on. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 6. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 7. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 8. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 9. Last one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 10. Oh, that is our hip cars. Whew. If you're just joining in, you're like, what the heck is this guy doing with his legs? We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We just started, so you're at the very, very, very beginning. Feel free to join in as you see, we're doing crazy stuff. I try my best to explain things as we go, make it very beginner friendly, so feel free to jump right in. We're going to move on into our second warm-up exercise. It's called the elephant walk, and it looks a little bit like this. We're going to try our very best to fold at the hips and get into this L shape. All right. If you're stuck a little bit higher, that's okay. It's part of the process. You gotta work on it, and then maybe one day you'll start folding a little bit deeper. All right. From here, if you have a tight low back, you're gonna start feeling some tension here, and I want you to just breathe. Relax as much as you can. Let the muscles chill out, and hopefully when your back relaxes, you'll start feeling the tension building in your hamstrings. When you're ready, with your hamstrings as the only thing you're really feeling right now, we're going to bend one knee and straighten out the other. We're going to fold this belly button down into the ground, so you're getting an even more intense hamstring stretch. And we're going to switch our legs back and forth. All right, so now the other leg is bent. The leg that was bent is now straight. And we're going to keep switching back and forth and back, and forth. Keep on trying to bring that belly button down into the ground and back and forth and back and forth. If you're feeling it in your hamstrings, that's very normal because that's where you're supposed to be feeling it. If you're feeling it in almost your glutes, just above your hamstrings, just below your butt cheeks, that is also very normal. That's basically where your hamstrings become tendons, and those tendons attach into your pelvis at the sits bone at the bottom of your butt. All right. And if you're feeling a little tingly sensation in your calves and in your toes, that's often called nerve flossing, nerve stretching, nerve gliding. You can Google that on the side, but as long as you're not super explosively doing these knee bends, you'll probably be fine. Okay? Whew. Once you've done a couple of these, and you realize, hey, these aren't so bad anymore. It started pretty rough. Now it's not so bad. I can handle this. Then I want you to focus on folding just a little bit deeper. Bring that belly button down and keep on switching. Bent leg, straighten leg. Bent leg, straighten leg. Bent leg, straighten leg. 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, 0. Pop into a little bit of a squat. And then come up into standing. Shake out those legs. Do a little dance. Wiggle. And that is part 1 of our second warm-up exercise. We're going to get right back into that same position we were just in, where one leg is bent, one leg is straight. And we're going to do some thoracic rotation. What is that? Thoracic rotation looks a little bit like this. We're going to bend our spine and twist from side to side. All right? And we'll talk about how we'll do that in just a second. So let's get into position. One leg is bent, one leg is straight. We're folding our belly button down. We're taking the hand from the bent leg side. We're taking that and reaching across the body to the straight leg side. We're going to push against the outside of that straight leg to help open up that chest. Rotate that chest open. And we're going to extend the other arm up into the air and point behind you and over your shoulder. All right? From here, I want you to breathe. Inhale, exhale. On the exhale, see if you can open up a little bit further behind you. And that's it. That is half of a rep. We got to do the other side. Switching the leg that's bent. Switching the leg that's straight. We're reaching across the body, pushing against the outside of the straightened leg, opening up the chest, reaching up into the air behind us, looking at that hand.
Is it connected to the right Wi-Fi?
Okay, hold on. I'm getting some information that there's a bunch of lag on one of the phones. Joseph says, can't see you. Okay, hold on. It is on Garden HM. It is on the right Wi-Fi.
Oh. That's weird.
How we doing? Are we still super laggy? Joseph says, can't see you, and nobody else has reported in. Let me know if you guys are struggling to see the content. Che says, still lagging a bit here too. Joseph says, good now. Okay. Che, I need one more. Are we good? Or are we still lagging? We got a laptop screen over there with... Oh, yep, I can see that it just jumped a whole bunch of seconds. And how's the audio sound? Is the audio skipping as well with the video feed, or is the audio fine? Lagging in bits and pieces. Okay, well, we're getting some audio is good and looks better now. I hope you guys, regulars, at least know the drill, so you don't feel obligated to have the video work perfectly. But I do feel bad for all of our new people coming in. We have like almost 200 people on right now, so I feel bad about the lag and skipping. Okay, where are we at? What have we done? We just did some thoracic rotations. Let's continue. We're bending one leg. We're straightening the other. And I'm going to explain from the beginning just because there was no visual before. And we're taking the arm from the bent leg side. We're going to reach across to the straight leg side. We're going to push against the outside of that straightened leg. We're going to open up that chest and reach back behind us. When you feel like you've reached the maximum you can with that arm, I want you to take a little breath in and relax. Exhale and reach a little further. Oh, that is half a rep. We got to do the other side. Switch over. Other leg is bent. The other leg is straight. Reach it across the body, pushing off that straight leg, opening up the chest, and open, 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 open. Breathe. Open, 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 open. And that is now 1 rep. We're doing 5 of these in total. And we got 4 more to go. Bend the knee, straighten the leg, reach across to the straightened leg, push against the outside, open up that chest. The eyes, the neck is rotating to look at that hand. Reach behind you, inhale, exhale, breathe, reach. And other side. Switch, bent leg, straight leg, push off the straight leg, open up that chest, breathe, and reach. Oh, that is officially 2 reps. We got 3 more to go. Let's go. Open, 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 open. Breathe. Other side. Open, 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 open. Breathe. That's 3. 1 leg is bent, 1 leg is straight. Reaching across, pushing off the straight leg, opening, reaching, looking at that hand with the neck. Breathe. That's 4 part 1. Other side. 4 part 2. And 1 last final one. I know I talk fast. That does not mean you have to move fast, especially because I come back and I start explaining things and describing stuff. So you got plenty of time. All right. So take it nice and chill and let's continue. 1 leg is straight. 1 leg is bent. I talked about it in reverse order, but that's fine. Reach across, push off the straightened leg, open up that chest, reach, 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 reach behind you, breathe, and that is 5 part 1. Switch to the other side, breathe, that is 5 part 2. That is our thoracic rotations. We're going to move right on into our 3rd and final warm-up exercise. We're going to do some Cossack switches. And they look like this. We're going to sit as deep as we can into this position where 1 leg is basically doing a side split and the other leg is doing a really deep squat. Okay? We're going to scoot our butts over to the other side, squish, get low, get compact, then we're going to come back. That is the Cossack switch. It's going to be a little bit hard for most people to get right into it, so let's work on some stretches to stretch out the ankle, stretch out the hips to prepare ourselves for the Cossack switches. All right? What I want you to do is I want you to recognize that this position that we're trying to get into is basically 1 leg in a deep squat. So bring both your legs together into a deep squat. And, if you can hang out here, great. If you're struggling to sit back on your heels in this position, then don't. Lean forward just a little bit. What we're trying to focus on is stretching out that Achilles tendon, stretching out that calf muscle. I guess technically is both legs, so both those calves. And if you need to, lean your knees forward so that you can balance. Okay? From here, we're trying to pull the knees into our chest. Realistically, since we're also trying to lean forward, you're probably bringing you're bringing your chest down to your knees. And we're folding here at the hips. Okay? When you hang out here in this position for a little bit, your ankles should relax, your calves should relax, your hips should get better at folding. And if you're feeling comfortable in this position, it's time to challenge yourself. I want you to do a little wiggle, a little dance. Squirm around. Push those knees forward, push those legs out, just move, and once you've done a little bit of that, our hips should be a little bit more prepared for some Cossack switches, so let's get into them. If you're here on the ground, I want you to take your hands from the hugging position and stick them straight down into the ground. Once you're here, feeling a little bit more stable, extend the other leg out to the side, and you can forget about that for now, okay? From here, we're trying to bring this heel down flat on the ground. That's going to give us a little bit more stability, okay? And we're doing a lot of movement from side to side in these weird-ish positions that are going to be hard to get into, so stability is very important. All right. For some of you, you might be able to get the heel down and also squish super low. For most people, you're probably going to be a little bit higher. Wherever it is you are, that is fine. I'm going to show you some variations to get your butt across the other side for both, okay? If you're higher up, it should be a little bit easier for you to get over to the other side. And that's it. This is the whole thing. Once you get over to the other side, I want you to try your best to sit your butt a little bit deeper down into the ground and keep going, all right? As you get deeper, as you get more comfortable in this stretch, you might end up getting pretty low, and you might need a lot more muscle power and a lot more stability to help you get over to the other side. That is when you use your hands. Put your hands down, help yourself over from side to side, okay? That's it. That's the whole thing. We're ready to go. Let's do it. We're doing 10 reps. Heels down, use your hands, scoot your butt over to the other side, squish, get compact, work those hips, work those ankles, and come on back. This is 1 rep. We're doing 10 in total. Come on back. Oh, and back. That's 2. If you ever need to pause for a break, just take it. You know, you can count in your own head, or you can just keep up however you want to keep up. You don't have to do 10. You don't have to do 10 exactly when I do 10. And believe it or not, I talk a lot. So inevitably, I'll be explaining something right after this, introducing the next exercise. So you got plenty of time to do as many of these as you want. All right. I think we've done at least 5 or 6 now. Let's talk about ways to make it a little bit more challenging. If you're ready to level it up, you can stop using your hands and go from side to side. If you're ready to level up from there, you can sit up a little bit straighter, lengthen out that spine, and keep going. I think this is number 8. If your knees are starting to hurt on the inside of the legs, you can come up a little bit, come across, and then sink down. Up, across, and down. And I think this is 9, so it's one final one. Do the hardest one you can. Sit deep into the stretch, scoot your butt over, stretch, and back, and that is 10 Cossack switches. We're done with our warm-ups. Warm-up is complete. If that sounds really scary because you're like, what? That's just the warm-up. Don't worry. This is a live stretching show. We're working on hip mobility and side split flexibility. And we need to get everybody warmed up so that you get the most out of the stretches that we're about to do. Right now, if your heart rate is up just a little bit, your hips are feeling a little bit looser, and your hamstrings are feeling a little bit looser, that's probably a good sign that we're ready for some more hamstring work, all right? The first thing that we're going to do now from here on out is the hamstring stretch. And we're going to do it in a way where you're going to have your knee down on the ground. This helps you stay a little lower to the ground, makes it easier to support yourself because you can put your hands down, but puts a lot of pressure on your knees. Okay, so go grab something to pad that knee. It could be a yoga block, could be a yoga mat that you fold up, roll up a couple of times, dog bed, couch cushion, decorative pillow, whatever you want. Put a little padding under your knee. I'm gonna crawl over there and grab something for myself. Boom, yoga block. I don't actually really recommend the yoga block because it can squish quite a bit underneath you, and that may or may not help you. So experiment, see if it's causing you instability, and if it is, switch it up. Cool? All right. I hope you've grabbed whatever you need to grab, and I hope you know that this is a live side split show where we do 45, 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility, and we do this every single day. So keep coming back, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you soon. If you're not sure if you like the live, you can keep hanging out. I'll explain everything, and you can just join in. You don't have to have any experience. All right? Whew. Knees are down. On our blocks. Take a look at your hips. The positioning of your hips right now is what we want to keep up for the majority of the stretch. All right? I want you to go from here and extend one leg out in front. Look at your hips. Are they square, and are they directly next to each other? Your hips are obviously one giant bone, so they'll always be next to each other. But what I want you to avoid is getting into a situation where one leg goes way out forward over there, the other leg is way back there, and now your hips, one is way out in front, one is way back, and you're basically twisting and rotating. Okay, that's going a little too far. We don't want that. Che sent the big long message. Give me a second. Let me take a look. Oh, Melius has asked a question, and Che has let him know, or her know, that it is not something I can respond to at the moment. Asked if I have a cowbell. I do not have a cowbell. Did you hear something that sounded like a cowbell? Okay, let's continue. We are in this position. One leg is out in front, and we're keeping our hips nice and square. All right? From here, I want you to focus on bringing that belly button down into the thigh. And it's going to look a little like this. Fold forward. You're going to feel it start building tension in your hamstrings. I'm going to turn around so you don't have to stare just at the top of my head for the whole entire stretch. You guys don't have to move because I can't see you guys. You know, Facebook or TikTok or somebody's algorithm might be able to. I can't. From here, we're here. Your hamstrings are crying. You're a little bit unhappy with yourself. You're wondering, what the heck am I doing on this Monday evening? And we are doing some hamstring stretches. Okay? From here, I want you to breathe. I want you to relax. Let's chill. If your calves are really tense right now, imagine that those are relaxing. If your toes are really tense right now, imagine those are relaxing. If your low back is really firing right now, flop yourself down and let that relax as well. Breathe. And once your muscles are chilled out a little bit more, we're going to do something I call the inhale, exhale, fold. It is very descriptive because I didn't really give it a name. I just told you exactly what we're going to do. We're going to take a big breath in, inhale. Then we're going to slowly exhale. And while we're exhaling, I want you to fold that belly button down deeper into your thigh. Okay? That's it. That's the description. That's the name. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. We are now in a much deeper hamstring stretch. You might be feeling all the tension that you thought you let go, all those muscles you thought you relaxed, they might have just started flexing real hard once again. Again, let your calves relax, let your toes relax, your heel, your feet, your glutes, your low back, let them try to relax as you breathe in and out. Try to chill out in that stretch. If you need to, you can stab your fingers into your hamstring and give them a little light massage to distract your brain. But hopefully you're ready for one more inhale, exhale, fold, because that's what we got left. Come on, inhale. Exhale and fold. Bring that belly button down, 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 down. Feel those hamstrings building up that tension. Oh, you might feel it in your calves, your legs. That's okay. Massage them. Keep on breathing. We're holding this for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19. If your knees are getting real sensitive, they're getting a little achy in this stretch, you can give them a light bend. I haven't talked about this in a really long time, so if you're new to the show, light bend will take some pressure off of your knee. You might be able to fold a little bit deeper into the stretch, and those are all good. If you want, you can straighten out your knee afterwards and feel that hamstring stretch get way, 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 way more intense. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that is our hamstring stretch, but we've only done one leg. We got a whole nother leg to do. So switch the knees, switch that hip position, and let's get back into it. Oh, let's go. Extend that other leg out in front of you. Check those hips, make sure they're squared off and they're not just going way far out into a crazy side split looking stretch or front split looking stretch. We're pulling the hips in and we're folding. Bring that belly button down into your thigh. You might notice immediately that one leg is way more flexible than the other. It is the case for me. It might not be the case for you, but if you have that issue, you'll probably have noticed it by now. From here, we're going to do the same thing as before. We're going to slowly relax as many muscles in our leg as possible. We're going to slowly drape our bodies over that leg. Breathe. Relax. chill. Let the muscles relax. And then we're going to inhale, exhale, fold. You ready for this? Big inhale. Slow exhale and fold. Now we're in a much deeper stretch. Your hamstrings are unhappy with you. Your calves are unhappy with you. Your glutes are unhappy with you. Everything's unhappy with you. And you just have to tell those muscles, hey, it's okay. I don't care if you're unhappy. We are moving on. Let those ankles relax. Let those calves relax. Whew, breathe. Drape your body over that leg. And, we're going to do one more inhale, exhale, fold to wrap this up. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. You're in a much deeper stretch now. Your toes, your feet, your calves, all those things, try to relax them. Imagine them being all floppy and loose. And breathe. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, we're almost done, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, come on out of that stretch. I have a cramp going in the hip. Oh, okay, boom, that's good. What we just did was a really intense hamstring stretch. And the reason why we do such an intense hamstring stretch is because a whole bunch of the other stretches that we do require some hamstring flexibility. And there's one coming up, stretch number 3, the pancake, where having your hamstrings already warmed up and ready to go is super helpful because there are plenty of other muscles that are going to struggle. So that is part of the reason why our hamstring stretch takes so long. And hopefully you noticed when we first started folding where your body was, where you're feeling that tension. You're like, oh wow, I'm so far away from my leg. And hopefully by the end of that stretch, you start folding way deeper and you're like, oh wow, okay, this can be way more intense. That is the mission of the stretch, to remind you that a lot of the time doing a little bit of warm-up is all you need to suddenly perform way more intense and do more crazy stuff. If you watch something on YouTube that you're like, oh, I can do that, and deep down inside you realize you probably can't, a lot of the time if you warm up, work those muscles a little bit in advance before you go try something crazy, chances are you'll get half a second and it'll be a little bit more impressive. All right, so don't forget to warm up, and let's get into warm-up exercise. Stretch number 2. We are getting rid of that cushion. We don't need it anymore. We're gonna lean our backs up against a wall and we're gonna sit our butts down on the ground. Oh man, I was ready for that after this front leg hamstring stretch thing. When you're leaning against the wall, I want you to have your butt up against the wall, your shoulders, your head up against the wall, and breathe. From here, what we're going to do is called the butterfly stretch. I'm going to take off my socks and throw them away because it makes my feet too slippery. My floor is already very glossy and slippery, so I don't need less friction. I need a little bit more friction. Depending on your floor, if you're sitting on carpet or something else, that texture will give you a little bit more grip to the floor, and I'll show you why that's important in just a sec. I want you to pull your feet in together and bring them into your groin and get into this position. The butterfly stretch is all about the groin stretch right here, okay? And the way you stretch it is by bringing your knees down into the ground. I want you to get stronger whenever you're doing any stretches and any work with me. So I want you to use your outer thigh muscles, and I want you to use your glutes to help open up those legs, and it is not going to be comfortable. But you're going to realize you're a total badass after doing it, okay? So work those muscles. Bring your knees down into the ground. If this is one of your first times coming onto the live and you're like, I have no idea how to use these muscles, I don't know what's happening, just stare at your knees. If they start going downwards a little bit, you're using the right muscles, all right? If they pop down a tiny bit and all of a sudden you're feeling a crazy stretch here in your groin area, you're probably using the right muscles. If your knees like fluttered for half a second and then got stuck, you probably just have weak muscles, but you're using the right muscles. The only time you're doing this wrong is when your knees start coming up and go the opposite direction of the one that we actually care about. If they're coming back together, you've gone the wrong way, okay? So everywhere other than that, you're doing good. Bring those knees down, bring them down, bring them down, bring them down, bring them down, and we're going to add a little bit more intensity by pushing our knees down with our hands, all right? Push, 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 push. This is where sitting and having our backs against the wall is super important, because the back of your head, your shoulders are pushing into the wall, because that's, where your arms are attached to your body, and the other end of your arms are pushing your legs down into the ground. So, suffer through the headache you're creating for yourself, and 30 seconds, let's go. 30, 29. I said something about why friction is important. If you push your legs down like this, and you push really hard, it's totally possible to just push your legs out in front of you and bring yourself out of the stretch. So having a little bit of friction, holding your feet in place, is going to help you hold the stretch at the angles that you want. All right, 24, 23, 22, 21. Do not hold your breath. Keep on breathing. If your muscles are tired, you can relax them for a second. Push your arms a little harder. Contract them. Push your arms even harder. Relax them. Push your arms harder. Relax them. Push your arms harder. And I don't know how many seconds it's been. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Keep on breathing in and out. Try your best to relax all the other muscles that are not your leg muscles that are contracting. That's a confusing sentence. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, let your hands go. You might feel that your wrist is super tired from pushing really hard into your legs. That sensation tends to go away in like 10 more seconds. The other place you might be feeling a little bit weird is your legs. The most important thing in our whole stretch, the legs. When you contract those leg muscles that I've been telling you to contract, your outer thighs, your glutes, for a long time, sometimes your legs start falling asleep a little bit. Not in the tingly kind of falling asleep way, in the, hey, they don't want to move kind of way. And most of the time, they'll wake right on up if you just take your leg and you give them a shake and you go, hey, we got stuff to do. Get up. Come on, man. And just give them a little bit of a violent shake and they should be good to go. I want you to flap the knees or flap the wings of your butterfly in this butterfly stretch by lifting your knees up and down if you can. And when your legs are moving all right, we're ready to move on into the hardest stretch of the whole entire show. Stretch number 3, the standing pancake. Come on up back into standing, and I'm going to try and crawl my way over the camera, see if we've got any more reports of lag in the last couple of minutes that I haven't seen. And by the way, if you need to grunt and groan and make a whole bunch of noises, please make as many as you'd like. I can't hear you. Josh Tree says, was late but finally caught up. No worries. Take your time. All right. Che sending tap and cool emojis and me doing funny things. Emoji. Custom emoji. All right. I'm going to hold the phone for a second so it stops shaking. And let's continue. Grunt, groan. Do whatever you got to do. We're doing standing pancake. And it looks a little bit like this. We're going to open up our legs decently wide. All right? Doesn't have to be crazy. If you want to aim for something like 90 degrees, that's a great number to aim for. That's a great angle to aim for. If you can't get there, don't worry about it. You can get there at some other point in the future. No big deal. All right? From here, we're folding the belly button down towards the ground. Whee! Whew. This is our starting position. From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. If you have really slippery floors, like I do, I recommend that you rest one leg up against the wall so that you're not sliding on both sides. At least one leg is anchored down. If you don't have super slippery floors and you don't have a slipping problem, in fact, you have the opposite and the floor is way too grippy, you might want to put on some socks and reduce some friction. Cool? Let's continue. From here, we're folding forward at the hips. And we want to go crazy with this and fold a little bit more and 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 a little bit more until our legs and our legs and our body are going whoosh and completely together. That is really, really hard. So we want to get in a position where gravity can give us as much help as possible. And I recommend you try your best to get your body to horizontal like so. If you remember some physics, leverage at this point right here where we're folding forward happens when the lever is long and the force is like straight down in this case. And we don't have to get into any more physics because I can't really actually remember any more details, but I got the leverage principle and it's happening right here. If you extend your arms straight out in front of you so that your biceps are by your ears and you breathe, bring your belly button down, breathe, bring your belly button down, you'll notice that that stretch got way more intense. And that is the magic of leverage. Gravity didn't change, your body weight didn't change, but you extended the length of that lever and all of a sudden it feels way crazier. So take that general rule of thumb. Try to keep your upper body horizontal as much as possible. Increase the length, increase the weight out over long as possible, and then that stretch will go crazy. That's it. That's the whole thing. You ready? Bring that belly button down deep into the ground. Widen your stance if you can, if you want to. If your face is smashing into the ground, you're really close and you're kind of scared, stick your butt back. When you stick your butt back, your center of gravity will shift backwards. Your head will come up a little bit, and now you won't be so close to the ground, and you will feel a little bit more comfortable. Cool? All right. Arms, biceps by your ears if you can. Bring the belly button down. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Hopefully, at this point, you recognize why this is the hardest stretch. 23. 22, 21, 20, and if you're, really strong, I guess maybe you could still hold your arms up, but I have long since given up on that. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Keep on bringing that belly button down into the ground. Fold forward. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Oh, that's enough. Put your hands down on the ground. Come on out of that stretch. Oh, breathe, grunt, groan. Make as many sound effects as you need to. Bring your legs together. How you do that doesn't matter to me. But if you need a little bit of help bringing your legs together, I recommend you bring your toes together, bring your heels together, bring your toes together, bring your heels together, bring your toes together, bring your heels together, bring your toes and heels and heels and heels and toes and heels and toes and heels until you come back into like this struggling old person position. And you can start waddling around and slowly start to stand up. Oh man. That is your standing pancake. And hopefully, as you're coming out of that position, you start shaking out your legs and you do a little dance, do a little wiggle, and motion starts returning to your legs, to your hips. Hopefully, you care about why you're struggling so much. Well, there's lots of different reasons. One of them, you could be stronger, you could stretch more, and whatever criticisms. But for the most part, the most important thing is these leg muscles are tired. Obviously, because we were in a crazy position for a whole bunch of time. And what specifically is tired? What specifically are you struggling with? It should be, if you did the stretches right, your inner thigh muscles. All right? Their main job, when they contract, is to pull your legs in towards the center of your body and maybe a little bit past center. But what were we doing? We're doing the exact opposite of that. We're opening up our legs as far, as wide as we can. We're stretching out these muscles, making them get into really, really weak positions relative to the muscle's strength, right? And to make matters worse, we're just hanging out there in a really deep stretch position, even though we know there's a weak muscle position, and just said, hey, you hang out there, you do that thing. And that is going to make your muscles really, 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 really unhappy. They're contracting really hard to keep you stable, to keep you standing, and they're also stretched really long. And the contrast of those things will sound crazy, but your brain does lots of crazy things just like that. And that is what you're trying to master when you're trying to get deeper into the side split. There's contraction, there's relaxation, and for the side split, when we're doing the standing pancake at least, sorry, let me rephrase that sentence. When we're doing the standing pancake, in this position, when our legs are suffering, we're also building strength. And we need that strength because that strength tells your brain you got control, you got power. And eventually, when you train it enough, your brain will go, oh, okay, this is fine. And hopefully one day that will be some kick-ass pancake stretches. All right, probably not today, but I'm feeling a little bit stuck in this position. It's going to take a lot of energy to get out of. Hold on, give me a second. That is a whole bunch of random stuff about pancakes. Hopefully, you've been wiggling, you've been squirming, you've been moving around, trying to loosen up your legs, getting them prepared for whatever else there is to come. And if you're a regular, you know what we got next. It's the figure four or the pigeon stretch. What day is it? I haven't had a live today. It's already Monday. Okay. Yesterday, we did a whole bunch of pigeon stretches, so I think it's time to do some figure four. You can do whatever you'd like, either the figure four or the pigeon, but I explain one stretch per day. And today, I'm going to be explaining the figure four. But in general, both the figure four and the pigeon have the very similar basic setup. All right, one leg is brought up so that it's resting just above the knee. If you're looking at it from this angle, we'll bring the ankle up towards the belly button and the belly button down towards the leg. And we're feeling the stretch out here in the side of the hip. You might also feel it here in the front. You might feel it back here and in the hamstrings. All right. Now, let's specifically talk about the figure four. Come on down, lay on your backs. Oh man, laying down, that is so nice. I know, just don't get too relaxed. We gotta work a little bit longer, all right? Cross this leg over to the other side. You're resting the ankle just below the knee. Now that you're laying down and looking up at it, it's below the knee, but if you were, standing up, it's above the knee, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Stick your hand through the triangle that you just made. Stick your other arm around, and I want you to pull the knee that's behind the ankle. All right? When you pull it in, if you're perpetually sore like me, because you stretch every single day, you might feel like, oh, hey, look, I am definitely feeling a stretch. There's some tenderness. This is totally a stretch. I would like to tell you that that is probably not a very good stretch, and you can do way better. I have a low battery warning, so give me a second while sorry about that. Laggy low battery warning thing. Oh, where were we? Still on the ground.
Something happened.
Yeah. Oh. Ankle is down. We're pulling on the knee. We're pulling it in. Pull. Pull some more. Pull some more. Pull some more. Pull that leg into your chest as much as you can and keep pulling. I know you're laying on your backs. I know you're tired, but keep on bringing that leg in, okay? 30 seconds, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Feel free to give your knee a little support. Pull that knee in as well. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, relax. Let your hips go. You can drop your leg off side to side and give it a quick second to relax. We're gonna switch and we're gonna finish this up. Let's go. Once again, we're on our backs, taking the leg, crossing over to the other side, reaching our hands through the triangle and around that leg. We are pulling the whole thing in towards our chest. If you feel like it's intense, you're probably wrong. You can probably go way worse. All right, you could pull harder. Pull. Take a small breath in, small breath out. Pull a little bit more. In, out, pull. Breathe. pull, breathe, pull, and when you are really feeling that stretch, we're ready. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, let that leg drop. Let the arms drop. Let the legs flop from side to side. And let your low back relax. Let it crack if it cracks. And we're done with stretch number 4. Okay. It's time for some side splits. All right. If you're just joining in, you have no idea what's going on. I'm just flopping around on the floor doing ridiculous things. It's because we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, build a little community, and I try to bring good vibes to the internet so that we can stay a little bit more consistent, suffer a little bit less, not because the stretch got less full of suffering, but because your emotional state is less full of suffering. Okay. If you like the show so far, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, and we're going to get into some side splits. All right. First thing I want to talk about to you is stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall. That is about 1.5 foot steps for most people. And when you do that, you'll be safe. Why do I say that? It's because when we get into the side split and we're trying to figure out how to get lower to the ground and we're shaking and squirming, oftentimes we'll accidentally lose some balance and we'll start falling backwards and we'll be like, no. You'll swim your arms through space trying to keep yourself from falling and you might fall on the ground. All right. But if your floor is not super slippery and you're close enough to the wall, usually you'll be able to just rest your butt against the wall and everything will be okay. All right. So stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall and you should be good to go. We're moving on. It's time to open up those legs, get into a side split. I want you to open them up, breathe, chill, relax for a second. If you're feeling a whole bunch of pain in your hips right here, you have gone too far. Bring your legs in just a little bit. From here, focusing on that belly button, we're folding forward. And if this looks just like the standing pancake and how we set up, that is absolutely correct. The only difference is now we are intentionally putting our hands down right away. From here, we're going to do the most important thing in this whole entire life. If there's one instruction that you follow, it has to be this one. So pay attention. Our feet are flat on the ground right now, right? What I want you to do is rotate this whole leg backwards. This helps the thigh bone not to smash into your pelvis. It makes it so that your bones aren't holding you back. All that is holding you back from a side split is your muscles. So, what are we doing? We are looking at that feet. We're rotating the whole leg back. Boom! The heel is now down. The toe is up. The knee is pointing up. Your quad muscles are pointing up. I'm only showing you one leg, so that's very easy to see. But we're doing both legs, so go ahead and rotate the other leg as well. Once you have rotated both legs so that your toes are pointing up into the sky, I'm trying to bring my legs really close together so you can see that they're together, you should be able to drift slowly into a deeper side split stretch. This is going to be different for everybody depending on how flexible you are right now, and that's okay. All right, from here, we're in it. This is the side split. This is your side split. I want you to try to do a little wiggle from side to side. See if you can break the friction holding your feet back. Drift just a little bit deeper into your stretch. If you needed something to support your hands, I hope you've grabbed it. I forgot to tell you about something to use to support your hands, so that's my bad. But you can use something to support your hands. Make the stretch a little bit easier. From here, we're ready. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. I want you to try your best to relax as many muscles as possible. If your feet were flexed, your toes are pointing straight up into the sky, relax your ankles now, all right? You already figured out how to orient your legs. You don't need those muscles to be firing super hard right now. Let your glutes relax, let your feet relax, let your calves relax, let your low back relax, and breathe. I forgot entirely what we got to in the count, but I feel like we've been here for a while. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our first side split. Walk your hands forward. Oh, bring your knees in. Grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to, and breathe. What we just did was put a whole bunch of tension into our hips, into our legs, and we're going to undo some of that by shaking out our legs. So when you're able to, come back into standing, waddle around like a penguin, and get ready to shake out your legs. All right? What I want you to do is stand with most of your weight in one leg, and I want you to flick your legs, your other leg, out. I want you to imagine you stepped in a puddle, and your feet are a little wet, and you're like, ew, and you're just flicking the leg out, hoping the little water droplets will fly out off your toe. All right? When you're doing this, your ankles are relaxed. Your calves have to be relaxed in order for your ankles to be relaxed and for your ankles to just be flopping around doing crazy stuff. All right? As you get more comfortable relaxing that leg, I want you to drop the knee. I want you to just let that leg be as close to straight as possible and just shake. Shake, 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 shake. Flop, 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 flop. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. And that should be good. Other side, flicking the water off of our foot. Relax the ankle. Flick, 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 flick. Shake, 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 shake. Drop the knee. Everything in the leg be as relaxed as possible. You're forcefully shaking out the tension, which is kind of funny because you're forcing a relaxation. That sounds like it's, contradictory. But is not. So, with that, hopefully your legs are feeling a little bit looser. Let's work on the hips. Okay? I want you to stand. Once again, put all your weight into one leg. The other leg, I want you to put the big toe down on the ground. Maybe the ball of the foot down on the ground. There's almost no weight in that leg, right? I want you to bend the knee just a little bit. And I want you to focus on bringing the knee in and out, and 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 in and out. If you can, pick up the speed, pick up the tempo, turn this into an aerobics class, and go boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba. I don't know what I'm doing. But I've watched some Taibo videos, and so I was inspired. Anyways, where am I going with this? We are shaking out that leg, working on getting those hip muscles relaxed, but also trying to figure out how to control this movement. Notice nothing else in the body is moving. The only thing that's moving is this thigh bone where it connects into your pelvis, all right? So once you've got a little bit more control, you're going to start making this into other stuff, making it more fun. You can do some stanky leg, all right? You can do stanky leg on the other side. You can do both legs at the same time. And, of course, you can also get really intense with the shaky and turn it into making your legs jello. All right? So from that same position, big toe is just down on the ground. You start shaking really aggressively, shaking really hard, and your leg is almost straight. You can get the thigh muscles, the whole entire quad, going flopping all over the place, and your leg starts turning into jello, and that is some more forced relaxation. So how you relax, that is totally up to you. I've shown you a whole bunch of different ways. You can have fun with it, make it enjoyable, because at the end of the day, we're just stretching and suffering all the time. The more fun you can make it, the easier it is to practice consistency. And with that, I think we're ready to go into side split number 2. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall, and let's get ready to side split. Open up those legs. Make sure your hips don't hurt. If they do, bring your legs in just a little bit. Forward fold, and we're ready to begin. Put your hands down on the ground for a little bit of support. If you can't reach, feel free to elevate your hands. From here, we're going to do the most important thing in this whole show. We're going to externally rotate this leg. What does that mean? Our feet were flat on the ground, or are flat on the ground. We're going to rotate the whole leg backwards so that, boom, the heels are down, the toes are up, the knees are up, the quads are pointing up. From here, we start doing the other side. Both legs. Knees are pointing up, toes are pointing up. I promise I'm doing it. You just can't see it because I'm too close to the camera. I don't even have ankles, all right? Based on what the camera's showing you. So, hang out here for a little bit. Breathe. Do a little wiggle from side to side. And see if you can get a little bit deeper into the stretch. Once your legs are rotated the right way, so the knees are pointing up, or even pointing behind you, you can relax all the other muscles in your legs, all right? Relax the toes, relax the feet, relax the ankles, relax your calves, relax your glutes, relax your low back. Just relax. Breathe. And 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Keep breathing. Relax. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is it. Walk your hands forward. Oh, bring your legs in. Oh, grunt, groan. Make as many sound effects as you need to. Crawl into something that is relaxing. I like to kneel. You can sit on your butt. Doesn't matter to me, as long as you're relaxing. Cool. All right. Ugh. Grunt, groan, waddle like a penguin. Come back into standing. We're shaking out those legs, and that was the last battery notification. I'm down to the last 10%. Is there a battery pack? Give me 1 second. I am gonna find a battery pack, and I'm gonna try to plug in something real quick. I need a power cable. Come on, come on. Sorry for the wait. Please go in. No, no, that's not good. All right, maybe not. That seems like it was not an effective use of my time. Okay, well, we're gonna run out of battery when we run out of battery. Let's wrap up these final side splits. We're gonna shake out our legs. Stand. Wiggle that ankle. Relax, 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 relax. Shake, 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 shake. The battery pack does not fit, and it's also too heavy for the stand, so it falls out. And I don't think it's worth working on rather than just working on finishing the split. So, shake out the legs. Shake, 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 shake. Other side. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. And when your legs are feeling a little bit more relaxed, I want you to work on the thighs. Bring the knee in and out, 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 in and out. It doesn't fit. That thing is too long. Okay. In and out, 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 and oh no. Battery is running super low. In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Okay, I guess. We'll just have somebody hold it. Great. Okay. In and out, in and out, in and out. Other leg. Shake out the tension. Relax as much as you can. Shake faster. Wiggle. You're rotating all the wrong directions. I don't know if this is worth it. You're facing the wrong way. Still facing the wrong way. Rotate the other direction. You've gone too far. Okay, boom! Success! I hope you enjoy the technical difficulties, because I'm having fun. I'm entertained. Thank you for your help, by the way. I appreciate it. Okay. If you've ever wondered how I maintain a space with absolutely nothing in it, is because I just push all the crap over to the side, and you got a little taste of all the crap over there. Where are we going with this? I'm super distracted. We are shaking out our hips, all right? So if you have been on the live for a while, you already know what you got to do, and I hope you've done a whole bunch of it. And I think since I've been preoccupied with making sure the battery is somewhat charged, we can probably get back into the side splits, right? You ready for this? Let's go. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall and open up those legs. If there is not a pinching sensation of discomfort in your hips, then we're ready to fold. Bring that belly button down into the ground. If you can, use your hands to support yourself. If you can't reach, use a stool, use some textbooks, use some yoga blocks to help elevate your hands. All right. From here, we're going to do the most important part of the whole entire live, and that is rotating these legs so that the knees are pointing up, so the toes are pointing up. And the way we do that is with our hands down. We're going to rotate the whole leg backwards so that the heel is down, the toes are up, and the knees are pointing up on both sides. When you're here in this position, your thigh bones are no longer smashing into your pelvis, into your hip bones, and that means the only thing holding you back are your muscles. So do a little wiggle from side to side, squirm, shake, move, and hopefully you'll drift your butt down slowly towards the ground. When you're here and you start feeling that stretch, try your best to relax. I know it's really hard. All of these muscles are all tense and freaking out. I'm telling you to relax those muscles. Try your best to relax your toes, your feet, your ankles, your calves, your glutes, your low back, your hamstrings. I mean, that one is extra hard, but try your best. All right, that's it. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. You can experiment with a couple of things. If you walk your hands really far forward, you're going to feel more of a stretch in your inner thighs. If you walk your hands back towards your hips, you're going to feel it more in your hamstrings. You need a combination of the two, so feel free to experiment and play around and do a little bit of both. All right? Another thing you can experiment with is bending your elbows. If so far your arms have been locked out underneath you, I want you to bend those elbows and you might suddenly feel that stretch get twice as hard. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our side split for the day. Walk your hands forward. If your legs aren't working right now, that's okay. Slowly bring them in. Grunt, groan. Make as many sound effects as you need to. And that's it. That's our side splits. We are going to come on up into standing in a little bit. We're going to shake out the tension in our limbs as much as we can, and then we will basically be done. We're going to do a couple of hip and joint checks, and then we'll wrap up. Cool? And I'm going to come back to the camera, look at the chat, interact, hang out, and that will be the end. All right, come back into standing, waddle around like a little penguin, shake out your limbs, move around, try to regain some function in your legs after those side splits, and let's begin. We're flicking the ankles, we're shaking out the leg, we're relaxing as much as we can, and let the leg relax. That's one side. Other side. Flick, 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 shake, 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 wiggle, 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 wiggle. Ankles loose, calves are flying all over the place, and that is the other leg. You really only need 5, maybe 10 seconds of shaking to get your legs to be relaxed. The more you do it, the more skilled you'll be at it, and you'll just need less and less time to get really relaxed. And I think that's enough. We can move on. Let's go. All your weight is in one leg. Big toe is down on the other leg. We're bringing that knee in and out, 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 in and out. And now, I want you to pick up the tempo, pick up the speed, shake faster, shake, 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 shake. There's still almost no weight on that leg, but I want you to shake so hard that your muscles are going one direction while you're swinging the leg back the other way, and I want you to turn your legs into jello. Flop, 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 flop. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. The less weight you have in that leg, the easier it will be to relax those muscles and let that leg shake out. All right, same thing on the other side. We're starting with just the toe down, bringing it in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. I always say it in reverse order. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. And as you get more comfortable with it, you start straightening out your leg a little bit, because part of that knee bend is just to show you that the knees are pointing that way. When you get more comfortable with it, you really don't have to bend that knee. You can still use the same muscles to rotate that leg. And I want you to pick up the speed. Go fast. Take it up a notch higher. The more I try, however, the more likely that I am to fail. It's one of those things where trying to go fast makes my muscles tense, and then they're actually slower. So take your time with it. Play around. Get those muscles to relax and swing that leg around. Okay, I think that's plenty. We've done a ton of these. If you need to do a little bit more, you can do some stanky leg. You can combine it, make some other moves, and let's move on to our joint checks. Okay, for the joint checks, we do a couple of things. The first and most important thing is some really slow hip circles. All right, so slowly come through. Work that full range of motion at the hips and work those hips. Ooh. After the side splits, I feel a whole bunch of stretch here in the left and right side, and that's why I keep on swinging around like I'm a grandfather clock and focusing on those hips. Woo. You can take as much time as you need to do whatever else you're feeling, and when you're feeling a little bit looser, you're feeling a little bit better, do a quick high knee. We start with this for our hip cars in the beginning, so you should be totally fine to do a couple more, and if you can't, you should get that checked out. Let's continue. We're going to do some squats, okay? Well, we're doing one really big squat and a couple of calf raises. What I want you to do is keep your feet relatively close together, and if you can, I want you to experiment with moving your toes, all right? I don't know how well you can see my toes. I can sort of see stuff moving down on the ground. I want you to lift your toes up as high as you can so that the ball of your foot is down on the ground, but your toes are all off the ground, if you can. Try your best. If you don't know how to do it, that's okay. Just try your best. From here, I want you to do the opposite. I want you to curl your toes in like you're making a fist, but with your toesies. Okay? Imagine the floor is super ultra ridiculously cold. You want as little of your feet touching the ground, and you're clenching your feet claws together and keeping your feet off the ground. All right? Those are your toesies. They're designed to move. So hopefully they moved a little bit. From here, we're going to get into a squat. Okay? Keep those feet relatively close together. We're popping into a squat, and I want you to bring your chest down to your thighs. When you're in this position, you're going to start leaning forward a little bit, and your toes are going to start working to keep you balanced. So let them work. From here, we're going to bring the knees forward, past the toes if you can, and that is going to put a whole bunch of pressure on your Achilles tendon, in your calves, and it's going to shift your body weight even further forward, making your toes work even harder. Your feet should be gripping the ground. You should be feeling those arches working. Feel that Achilles tendon stretched. Feel your calves working real hard. If you poke them, you'll notice that they're probably very tense right now. Your quads are probably also firing really hard because you're in this weird squat position, and I won't stop talking about whatever else is going on with the legs. So from here, we're going to wrap up right now with 3 calf raises. All right, I want you to focus all of your attention on those big toes and try to balance all of your weight underneath that big toe and come on up into a calf raise. Here's 1 and down. If you need to, you can put your hands down for a little bit of support. That's 2 and another 3. All right, come on back up into standing. If you're able to balance, if you're able to get those toes working with your feet, with your ankles, Achilles, calves, knees, quads, low back, hips, all those joints, all those muscles, you're probably doing pretty good. All right? And with that, we're going to wrap up the live. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, practicing consistency, staying on for all the technical difficulties, the lag, the phone running out of battery, and the phone shaking because I have one very tired arm in an awkward position holding it up in place. And it's hilarious for me. It's too bad you can't see it. I think they're laughing and the phone is starting to shake more. So I'm going to wrap up pretty quick because I can see the suffering on that face. Actually, I'll hold the phone. Everything's fine. I got this. All right. Let's see. Guy Yahoo on YouTube says, glad I was able to participate tonight. Feels good to know I'm making an effort. Amazing. Thank you for being here, Guy. Welcome back. And I do remember that you were here yesterday, so I have seen your username and I know you were here. Emily says, hi, keep going. Thanks, Emily. Thanks for the moral support. I don't know when the hi, keep going came in, but I imagine it was when I was all flustered, not sure what was going on. So I appreciate the support. Okay. Ganowski says, thanks, Ken. Thank you. And Paul Diesel says, gotta go, but thank you. See you tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for coming in, hanging out, working on those side splits. Chareth, Emperor of Prep, says, thank you so much. Ken Zukov sends a bunch of cool emojis. And Josh is sending great vibes, too. Thank you. Feeling so amazing right now. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Cat G says, I made progress. Shake head. What's happening? What's this do? Is this a penguin with a wave? Cat G says, I made progress. That's amazing. Thank you for letting me know, because, I can't see you guys for the most part. So when you tell me you're making progress, that makes me feel good. It helps to confirm that consistency is helpful. And, my whole life is based on the idea that practicing consistency is really good for you. So thank you for making sure that I know that I'm doing something useful with my time. Paul says, oof, I can see my gains though. Great. I'm so happy to hear it. We got stretch time from Cat G. Chases, thank you. Live action in action. That's so funny. I hope you weren't all hanging out in some awkward position for a super long time while I was explaining stuff and mentally completely distracted by the phone. Annalyn Pemot says aloha. Aloha. Welcome, welcome. If you are just joining in and you're staring at my face, staring at the screen, reading chat, I'd like you to know that we just wrapped up like 70, 80 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice a little bit of consistency, to build a bit of community, and hopefully make a bunch of progress in our side splits. So if that sounds like something you like, something you need a little bit of help with, practicing consistency, make sure to hit follow, make sure to hit subscribe, and keep coming back. We go live at 9 p.m. Eastern time every single day. If you're not in the Eastern time zone, we started an hour and 20 minutes ago, 80 minutes ago, and that's our standard time. I don't think I've missed very many of these. On the weekends, we do 9 a.m. Weekend's over, so not relevant to you right now. I'll remind you in like 4 more days. But on the weekends, 9 a.m. We are back. Is that everything? That's everything. Hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back, and we will work on more side splits. I'm going to scroll a little bit more through the chat to go back up to see what I've missed, because I spent a lot of time back there demonstrating the stretches that we're doing together, and I miss a lot of chat. Yo Money 44 says amazing, or that's how I like to interpret the text that has no emotional context. Yo Money 44 says great with a smiley. Awesome. We got heart emoji person whose username is, I'm about to find out, Hola Mamacita, who says hello. Hello, hello. Josh21 says, was late but finally caught up. Ooh, okay, so I'm back to the top more or less. And I'm almost done. We had a comment about the stretches and adjustments for somebody who's bedridden. If you are still on, and you have some more clarification for what bedridden means for you, because I imagine you're asking for yourself, right? I could probably make a slightly more specific set of stretches for somebody who is stuck in bed, but I imagine that you're asking for yourself. And so if you tell me what it is that you can and cannot do, I can probably come up with a more specific list that's useful for you, okay? So if you're still on, let me know. Or message me directly. That's also cool. Bifo says, wow, this is an awesome channel. Amazing. Thanks, Bifo. I appreciate it. I don't know if you're still on too, but because I'm responding to comments from the very, very, very beginning of the live. But I think that is it. Ooh, Irvina. Oh, man. Like one of the first 2 comments says audio skips with video. That is a sign of bad internet. And I am not sure why that is, because I speed tested this earlier today, and it was pulling like 500 megabits upload. Or I guess that's not pulling, that's shooting up into the internet instead. Anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for being so patient while the internet and the upload was a little bit finicky. I don't know why, but TikTok was being a little weird, and YouTube has not been weird, and I don't know. Really strange. Usually YouTube is the one that's being super finicky, and TikTok is the one that's performing better, and that's very strange. Anyways, I'm scrolling back down all the way to the bottom of the chat to see if anybody's responding to any of the questions that I asked, and if they have, then I'll respond to that too. But if not, then I guess it's time for me to wrap up. Travel Doxy says, thank you for today. Travel Doxy says, oh my god, the penguin. Oh yes, the penguin on my head with the wave. That was crazy. I was not sure what to do. I took too long to read to shake my head. I feel bad. But I appreciate the penguin. Thank you so much. Che says, I sent 400 comments to your live. Or actually, I assume that's an automatic notification. But I appreciate the participation, Che. Che has been here pretty much every single day, and not just every single day, almost every single live since November, and is usually one of like the first people to comment in the live, and I really do appreciate it, because it's really good to see the first chat come in and be like, yes, people are here, because the number on the top is much smaller than the chat actually coming in. And when I'm starting the live way back there, it's much harder to see how many people are actually in the live. And when you pop in, you send some comments in the chat, I can see that something is happening, people are engaging, and it's very helpful to get my energy up so we can get through the live. All right. Kat G says, thank you. Chareth says, this is our second week. I have made so much progress. That is amazing. I'm very, you know what? I'm going to take a screenshot of that. I'm going to keep that forever. I don't know when I'm going to ever look at it again, but it will be in the phone. When I need to check how well the live performs, I'll have one screenshot from Chareth that says, it's my second week. I made so much progress. Linda says, I appreciate it. Susan says, the side stretch is challenging, but I'm getting better at it. Amazing. Again, we are all about practicing consistency, right? We don't have to get the very best, most impressive version of the stretch today. As long as you're working towards it, you're making a little bit of progress, your brain is learning new things, adjusting, tweaking, figuring out how to do it better, you're doing great. And if at any point during the live, you came in and you're like, wow, this guy is like super flexible, I promise you, I've been doing the same 8 stretches, 9 stretches, 8.5 moves, because I combine a couple of like little doodads around occasionally, for a long time. And by a long time, I mean like over a year. And this is pretty much all the stretching that I do. There was a couple of moments in time where I thought I was going to push really hard to get the side splits, and then my hips started hurting, so I dialed back the intensity on that. But other than that, this is basically all of the stretching that I do for the side splits. And all of the progress that you're seeing is progress. You can go back into the live recordings. They all exist on YouTube. I think at least 4 or 5 months worth are recorded on YouTube in a playlist called Live Sessions, and you can look back at how not flexible I was just 4 or 5 months ago, or how much or how not progress I've made in those 4 or 5 months. Right? There's some stretches where I argue that on some days I can get pretty deep, and some days I don't get very deep, so it doesn't feel like I've made that much progress. But I can't remember, because I do this every single day and it starts blending together. But if I go back and I watch the YouTube recording and I go, oh wow, my hamstring stretch really sucked 5 months ago, and now on at least one leg I can basically touch my chest to my knee with enough warm-up, that feels good, right? That's progress. And why am I saying this? I'm saying this because if it feels like, oh man, that guy is super flexible or something, and there's no way this show is designed for me, it really, 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 really is. All right, I'm not a very stretchy, flexible person by nature, right? Like you have that friend who can just like drop into like 3/4 of a side split like immediately with no practice, no warm up. That's not me. If I were to do a side split right now, it's been 20 minutes since it's been less than 20. It's been like 10 minutes since we stopped doing the side splits. I'm gonna be significantly worse than when we were just doing our last one. All right. Half the reason why the live is so long is because I need all that warm up in order to even get to the place where I can start doing side splits. And if you watch exactly how much progress I've made in the last couple of months, you'll know that I don't make progress that fast. And that's all to say that if you practice consistency, if you work on the stretches haven't changed. There's no new information. We've been doing the same thing for a long time, and we're slowly building progress, even though, it could be really boring. I try to be funny, I try to be entertaining, I try to, make things not as just pure suffering on the floor while we stretch. But most of the content is pretty much exactly the same. And, as you've seen in the chat today, people are making progress in the first 2 days, first 2 weeks. Some people are popping back and going, oh my God, I've made so much progress. And that's incredible. That's amazing. That same progress, using the same exact stretching things that I say for what you were practicing at your level, is the same words I say to myself when I'm on the ground doing it at my level. So don't ever feel discouraged if you're feeling like it's going a little bit slow. Don't feel discouraged if you feel like you can't get into the same stretch that I'm demonstrating the way I'm doing it. All our bodies are going to be a little bit different, and I probably talk about the stretches slightly differently as I have adjusted, right? One of the things that I forget all the time in the side splits themselves is I forget that a couple months ago, there was a point in time where if I had my heels down like this in this position for the side split, my heels hurt so much I didn't want to do the stretch. And so I have this foam pad that I haven't used in a very long time and just sits in the corner in case I need it one day. But at one point I was using this pad all the time. And it was a significant part of the show. Because once you have it down, it's like a pain in the butt to get rid of it, right? So now that I have not been using it for a while, and we did the traveling and I didn't have any foam or any extra padding, I forget that at one point I needed to get extra padding, and I had some extra time set aside to get some foam stuff for the shoes, for the feet. And occasionally now I remind you guys, if you need to put on some slippers, go get slippers. But, most of the time I forget. So the show is mostly the same, and occasionally I forget or remember some stuff, and I don't know where I'm going with this. I hope you enjoyed the live. And I hope you keep on practicing consistency. It doesn't have to be consistency with the side splits. It doesn't have to be consistency with this live. But whatever it is that you think you care about, whatever it is that you want, I hope you go and chase it and suffer through whatever shenanigans you got to suffer through in order to go do the cool thing that you want to get done. All right. For me, it's the side splits. For me, I have been struggling with the side splits and consistency for it for like a decade and a half. Every year, it'd be like New Year's resolution, I'm gonna get the side splits today, or this week, this month, this year, and then I'd go for a couple of days, and then I'd stop, and my legs would hurt, and I would not get anywhere, and I wouldn't make any progress. And this would happen like twice a year. Like midway through the year, I'd be like, wow, I really gotta get serious to get my side splits by the end of the year and complete my New Year's resolution. So like in January and like June, I start over for 2 weeks, and then I stop again for the whole rest of the year. And I don't want that for you, right? This live exists because I know I do that, and I have done that so many times that I don't need any more proof that I'm about to do that and not get the side splits. So I started doing the lives because I needed to keep myself accountable, all right? And yes, I do the show for you guys, but I also do it for me. If I have a really good reason to be online to do the stretches, then I'm going to definitely do the stretches. And, whatever thing that you care about, maybe the side splits right now, maybe some other thing that you got going on in life that you want to be very consistent about, you got to figure out a way to stay consistent. If you can't do it for you, which often happens, right? Dieting is hard. It's doing it for you. There's plenty of reasons why you don't want to do the thing that you think you say you want to do. If you can game it, if you can add some other reasons, maybe your people-pleasing problem you can turn into a life, and make it so showing up for other people is a big part of why you do the thing that you say you want to do. And I'm half joking, I'm half serious, but as you figure out what's important to you and figure out how you exist in the world and what your habits are, and what stuff you tend to do well at and what stuff you tend not to do so well at, if you can game that information and manipulate your environment into doing the stuff that you want to do and actually succeeding at the stuff that you want to do, that is probably going to be a super useful skill. So What you're seeing right now with this live is me tricking my own brain into doing a whole bunch of side splits, doing them very often, making it fun for myself, and trying to make the whole world a slightly better place so that we all get a little bit more flexible, have a little bit more hip mobility, and hang out with a bunch of other weirdos on the internet who are sitting in painful stretches at 9 p.m. in the evening. So, thank you for being here. Okay, I was rambling for a whole bunch of time there. I'm going to scroll down through the chat one last time, take a quick look, and we will wrap up. Travel with Roxy wrote, it is splits on the side on YouTube. Thank you for writing that out. I probably should have said it a bunch more because I was sending people to go check out the old YouTube videos. Chase says, don't forget to drink your electrolytes. I have had lots of salty food. I feel like I just need to have like potassium powder just to throw into my face. Okay. What else we got? Che tells us to check my old YouTube videos. Thank you. And one last little bit of scrolling left. We are almost done. Oh, a lot of gifts have come in since my rambling began. Thank you so much for the gifts. Kat G says, I remember asking about how to stop my heels from hurting, and now I don't need flip-flops to cushion them. Yes, Kat, that is awesome. Yeah, I don't know when the body adjusts. It just happens, and then you go, oh, it's not so bad anymore. And I kind of joke about it when we're doing the elephant walks, right? That first elephant walk tends to be a little bit more intense, tends to be a little bit more painful. And then after you do a couple and I distract you with whatever random story I have for the day, then and start describing like nerve flossing, nerve gliding, whatever that thing I'm telling you to go search for on YouTube, at some point you go, oh, hey, you know what? That wasn't so bad. That's okay. And unfortunately, a lot of life is like that. You start and you suffer right at the very beginning. You're like, man, this blows. And then a couple minutes later, you're like, okay, fine, it wasn't that bad. So try to remember that when something sucks. And hopefully you can get through the sucky part and get to the part where you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad. Everything's good. Kachu says, it really does just happen. Amazing. All right, Kat, I'm going to take a screenshot of that too. I don't know when I'm going to look at it, just like the previous one that I took a screenshot of, but I'm going to keep it because that's nice. It's validation that I'm not just making stuff up, that I'm not a weirdo. Okay? It's not Ken's feet are magic. It's everybody's feet work like this. All right? Kat G, thank you and good night. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Oh, thank you for this teddy bear thing. Oh, okay. Goodbye, teddy bear. That's it for today. There's still like 99 of you online, so I'm glad that you appreciate the rambling. YouTube, I am so sorry. The phone that has TikTok running on it has been running out of battery, and other things are happening to it, and I've been staring at that phone because I've been trying to keep it alive. And I have not been looking at the YouTube feed at all. So I apologize. I'll try to make sure the phones are better charged. Actually, the phone probably just needs a battery replacement at this point. But thank you so much for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your side splits, working on that hip mobility. We are officially finally wrapping up for today. We've had lots of 100-minute lives, or at this point it's 2 minutes, but very long lives in the last couple of days. And the last couple of days have been pretty crazy. After coming back to the US, I think yesterday, the day before yesterday, no, yesterday, what am I talking about? Sunday morning, I think was one of our best live attendances ever. Something like 13,000 people came through and popped in. I mean, most of the people probably just scrolled past and was like, okay, weirdo on the internet, stretching, okay, move on. But the algorithm sent the live to like 13,000 people, and that was a crazy number. I think that was our best number ever. So live is growing, and I appreciate you guys for being here and being a part of it. So thank you, and I'll see you in a little bit. We got another live tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. That is 22 and a half hours from now, and I will be here, and I hope to see you soon. Good night, everybody. Good night, Kat. Good night, Che. Good night, who else is here? Good night, Susan, with the crying emojis. And, cool. Closing out. Bye.